fighting! Enough! We need peace, and let half-beasts govern the world unbreakable.
In my previous life, I chose to marry Jax, the eldest son of the werewolf pack, who was known for his extreme loyalty. We gave birth to a hybrid cub with white fur and named him Zeal. Our child became the next ruler of the world, and Jax gained immense power as a result. My sister, obsessed with the beauty of the elves, married into their clan, but the elven prince slept with every female in the forest. In the end, she contracted a strange disease and became barren ever since. Consumed by jealousy and resentment, she set a fire and burned me and my young child alive.
Help me!
When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day of the interracial marriage alliances. I knew she had been reborn too.
This was when I was young.
There, on the massive fur-covered bed, my sister Clara and Jax were tangled together, naked. Clara gasped, her nails raking down his muscled back. Clara tempted and took possession of Jax ahead of time.
Jax, you will marry me, won't you? Don't forget your promise.
Of course. As long as you bear children for the pack, I will love you always.
Clara, what the hell are you doing? Sister, Jax and I are truly in love. Please, let us be together. And we've already fucked. If I don't marry Jax now, no other prince will want me as his wife.
Rowena, maybe you can pick another mate. Clara just got carried away and made a mistake.
Father was there too, speaking up for her. He always favored Clara because I was his bastard daughter from a fling outside, while Clara was born to his legitimate wife. I looked down at Clara, kneeling on the floor now. Her face was streaked with tears, looking all innocent, but her eyes burned with ambition and thrill. I knew she was reborn too, and she jumped straight into Jax's bed to steal him. In my past life, I'd chosen Jax, the eldest son of the werewolf Alpha. To me, vampires were cold and heartless. Elves were fickle players. Only werewolves were loyal and passionate, the perfect choice. 6 months after mating with Jax, I bore him a white wolf pup, naming him Zeal. As the first hybrid born, Zeal became the rightful next ruler of the world. I always thought I would live happily with my child like this forever. Until that fire came. But Clara, craving the elf's allure, picked the elf prince Eldrin. She didn't know he'd rut with every willing female in the woods. It left Clara with a nasty infection, barren for life and shunned by the elf clan. She blamed me for her misery, jealous that my life was better. She slipped me a sedative and set our den ablaze, burning me and Zeal alive. Thinking of it now, rage boiled in my veins. I wanted to rip Clara's throat out right there, avenging Zeal. My fists clenched in my sleeves, nails biting into my palms, snapping me back to reality. I nodded, putting on a knowing smile.
Since you and Jax are so in love, I won't stand in your way.
Clara hadn't expected me to agree so easily. The tears she'd forced out hung awkwardly on her lashes.
Clara, get up. Thank your sister for her blessing.
Thank you, sister.
Meski hatimu tak benar-benar datang.
Girls really do grow up and slip away too quickly.
Father joked, but when he turned and saw my cold face, he looked guilty.
Rowena, the only unmated heirs left from the ruling clans are the Vampire Lord, Thorn, and the Elf Prince Eldrin. I think the elves aren't a bad pick. Their looks and status are way above the vampires. And Clara mentioned before.
I cut Father off.
Father, I'll mate with the vampire clan's Thorn.
Humans always saw vampires as cold-blooded monsters, full of prejudice. For thousands of years, no human had chosen a vampire alliance, so the vampires never produced a world ruler. It got them sidelined by the other races, treated as outcasts with no resources. In my past life, as I burned in the flames, I saw a pair of emerald red eyes, Thorns. He calling out my name at the top of his lungs. He tried to save me, but the flames were too fierce and he could do nothing. Father wasn't happy with my choice, but seeing how determined I was, he didn't push it anymore. He just sighed and tried to comfort me.
If things get tough in the vampire clan, Clara can help you out.
But when Clara heard I'd chosen to mate with the vampire clan, she couldn't hold back and mocked me right to my face.
Sister, even if you can't have Jax, you don't have to pick the rundown vampire clan. Don't end up starving before you even pop out a kid. I hear the vampires are going bankrupt. The werewolf pack is loaded. Even their bathwater is infused with precious moonlight healing herbs. If your days get too rough, sister, I can pack up some leftovers for you.
She said it all without caring about the servants' weird looks, covering her mouth and laughing hysterically. In Clara's mind, the werewolf pack had endless resources, and Jax was not only loyal but a total beast in bed, his massive member always straining against his tight leather pants, promising endless stamina to fuck her senseless and knock her up fast. But she didn't know that humans and werewolves didn't breed easily, and Jax was obsessed with heirs. After 6 months with no pregnancy, Jax had turned his rage on me, tormenting me day and night, his thick shaft pounding into me brutally until I bled, all while growling about needing a pup. It wasn't until I used a secret ritual to get pregnant and birthed Zeal, securing power for the werewolves, that Jax finally eased up. I smiled faintly. For me, my previous marriage with Jax was not a happy one. I offered Clara a calm smile.
He's just some trouble I don't want. Go ahead and take it.
Rowena, what's there to be proud of picking a broke-ass vampire?
I'll be the first to get pregnant! My child will be the next Alliance ruler!
I ignored her tantrum and went to prepare for the wedding in 3 days. Clara was right about one thing. The vampire clan was dirt poor. I worried they couldn't even afford a proper gown, so I planned to get one ready myself. But to my surprise, that night Thorn came personally to deliver the wedding dress. This was the first time I really took in Thorn's appearance. This was the one who had tried to save me in my previous life at the very last moment of my life. Opening the box, there was a blood-red trailing gown, the chest adorned with glowing dark crimson gems. I'd never seen such a stunning dress. I was mesmerized.
Miss Rowena, this is hand-stitched by our vampire clan's finest tailors. The blood gems are blessings from our people. This is the first vampire-human unity. If anything's not to your liking, tell me.
Thorn looked at me with deliberate distance, as if he wasn't the one about to mate with me.
Thank you. I love it.
Just as I was about to put the dress away, Clara sauntered in, arm linked with Jax's, looking smug as hell.
Sister, you can't seriously have just this one dress? Jax prepared a whole 10 wedding gowns for me, each one sexier than the lace.
Clara only knew werewolves were deeply loyal, but she didn't get that it was pure instinct, making them fixated on breeding. If she didn't give him a pup soon, would Jax still pamper her? Thorn's grip on his scepter tightened for a moment. He looked at me seriously.
It's my vampire clan that scrothed you, Miss Rowena. I promise you. Thorn will never repay you in this life.
Pretty words are easy. Let's see if you can even knock her up.
Clara couldn't stop yapping about babies now. Her barren past life was a thorn in her side, so she was obsessed with getting pregnant. She wasn't even mated to Jax yet, but was already shacking up in his den. In a way, they were perfect for each other when it came to breeding obsessions.
Sister, focus on your own mating. Someone might think you're eyeing my fiancé again.
I smiled faintly at Clara, and in the midst of her and Jax's ugly expressions, I took Thorn's hand and left. Soon, from behind, I heard Clara flirting with Jax, her voice dripping with seduction.
I want your pup growing in me so bad.
My stupid sister, reborn and still obsessed with rising through motherhood. Thorn's cool, detached voice whispered in my ear.
Miss Rowena, I know you chose me out of necessity, but I swear, within my power, I'll never let you suffer.
Hearing him, I turned instinctively, but I accidentally bumped right into his chest. A strange, intoxicating scent filled my nose. I looked up at him, speaking seriously word by word.
Thorn, I chose you willingly, and from now on call me Rowena. Don't be so formal.
All right, Rowena.
3 days later, the weddings happened as planned. Both ceremonies were at the same grand hall. This time, the werewolf wedding was even bigger than in my past life. They invited hidden witches for blessings and prayers. All the major clans attended theirs. Our vampire side felt quiet in comparison. No extra guests, but the vampires were thrilled. Mating with a pure human meant a shot at claiming the Alliance throne. After the ceremony, I ran into Clara face to face.
Sister, I had no idea werewolves had such insane stamina. His huge memble kept pounding me all night. I bet I'll be carrying his pup soon.
Then I wish you luck with that.
Whatever, you wouldn't get it anyway. You're stuck in the beggar den now.
And you can all just go back to the hellhole you crawled out of.
No one wants you here, and no one will miss you when you're gone!
In my past life, she assumed my pregnancy was simple and figured she'd have the same luck. She bragged to the pack about getting knocked up within 6 months, and word spread fast. Seeing her so confident, even Jax believed her without question, his eyes always hungry as he groped her curves. She gave a disgusted glance at the nearby vampires, hitched up her skirt and brushed past me. I grabbed her arm, stopping her.
Clara, apologize. Apologize to the vampire clan.
Rowena, what the hell is wrong with you?
We started arguing right there in the hall. Finally, Father stepped in, figured out what happened, and forced Clara to apologize to the vampires. Even though vampires were low tier, when humans insulted them, werewolves and vampires would band together against it.
Rowena, this life, I'm winning. Thorn, you smell so fucking good.
You teasing little girl. I'm going to keep you in bed all day today.
Three months later, word came from home that Clara was pregnant. I was stunned when I heard. In thousands of years, no human-beast hybrid had been conceived in just 3 months. If I hadn't seen her swollen belly myself, I wouldn't have believed it.
Looks like the moon goddess favors us werewolves. A hair in just 3 months.
By status, I should have sat at the end with Thorn, but Clara had Jax seat me right next to her. She wouldn't miss a chance to rub it in.
Sister, 3 months and your belly's flat as a board. Guess it's 'cause you're not pure white family blood. Even your womb's worthless.
Hybrid pups had special bodies. They only needed 2 months to be born. By my count, it'd be next month. Clara had gained a ton of weight, her stomach huge and bloated. She didn't know wolf-human mixes were naturally big. Without watching her diet, childbirth would be hell for her. She shall suffer a terrible price for this. In my past life, I'd controlled my weight, but labor still took a full day and night. The pain was so bad I nearly ended it all. But seeing my pup born safe, sleeping in my arms, made it worth it. I lifted my goblet, took a sip, and said calmly,
History's shortest pregnancy was a year. You did it in 3 months. Whatever tricks you used, only you know.
Rowena, what the hell do you mean?
Just a little poke and she was panicking. Clara couldn't keep her cool.
Here's to a smooth delivery.
I raised my goblet to her, then found Thorn and left together. A month later, Clara labored for 3 full days and nights before birthing the pup. But 7 days passed and the pack hadn't shown the child publicly. Even Father was turned away when he tried to visit Clara. Something was definitely wrong with that pup. Half a month later, Father called me home. Before leaving, I saw Thorn's overly worried look, so I asked him to come with me. In the living room, Clara was holding a half-wolf red pup, sitting on the ground and crying loudly.
This is my and Jax's pup. Isn't it normal the wolf's hair yellow to mutate?
Clara insisted the little red wolf pup was Jax's, but she didn't know Jax was a purebred white wolf, and his ancestors had never produced a red fur gene. Jax's face was dark with rage, his massive, muscular body radiating fury.
Clara, who the fuck did you screw behind my back to birth this? Spill it, or I'll kill the bastard myself! Jax, cool it. There might be a misunderstanding. Clara adores you. She wouldn't betray you.
Father jumped in, scared, trying to calm him. Clara, seeing Father on her side, held the pup up to Jax, her voice soft and seductive.
Look, our pup looks just like you. Those eyes are identical.
Jax took the little red wolf pup with a cold expression. The pup, quiet in Clara's arms, burst into wailing cries the moment it saw Jax's face. That miserable sound reminded me of Zeal struggling in the fire in my past life. My chest ached so bad I could hardly breathe, brows furrowed tight. Thorn noticed something was off. He covered my ears with his hands, thinking I hated the pup's cries. His hypnotic crimson gaze was full of concern. Tall, dark-haired, with chiseled features and a seductive aura that made my body tingle even now.
Bastard!
Jax cursed, lifting the little red wolf high and slamming it toward the ground. In that instant, Thorn and I both reached out to catch him. The pup landed safely in Thorn's arms. Even though I wanted to slaughter Clara and Jax, the little red wolf was innocent. Everyone in the room was shocked by the scene. Especially Clara. Her face went pale, body shaking.
Jax, you're so cruel.
Jax looked at Clara with no trace of his former lust.
Clara, we werewolves prize loyalty to our mates above all, and you openly cheated on me. You call me cruel?
If I had to pick one good thing about Jax, it was his fierce loyalty. In my past life, when I didn't get pregnant in 6 months, he didn't seek out other she-wolves to breed. Instead, he tormented me night after night, his enormous member ramming into me brutally, choking me with his strong hands while growling filthy commands, fucking me raw until I was begging for mercy, all to vent his frustration. I wondered if Clara could handle that blessing this time. Clara and Jax argued nonstop in the hall. Clara swore she hadn't cheated. Jax refused to claim the red wolf pup as his. Father, out of ideas, turned to me.
Rowena, what do you think about this?
What could I say? The pup wasn't mine. I was just here for the drama, not to get involved.
I've heard witches have spells to verify bloodlines. The werewolves are tight with witches. Why not invite one to check?
Clara shot it down immediately.
No way. The pup is mine and Jax's. We don't need a witch to confirm.
But Jax nodded.
Let's do it your way.
Word spread like wildfire about the witch being invited by the pack. Everyone was curious about the new potential ruler. 3 days later, crowds packed the pack hall entrance to watch the witch cast her spell. Under the witch's magic, 5 red marks flew from the little red wolf's forehead. One landed on Jax's hand, the other 4 shot toward the pack's living quarters.
Jax, you're...
Jax, you're one of the pup's fathers. One of them.
The witch's words caused an uproar.
What does one of mean? Does the pup have multiple dads?
But it looks pure red wolf. Jax is pure white wolf, right?
Thorn shielded me in the crowd as we watched the show. Hearing the gossip, I nearly laughed out loud. I'd always wondered how Clara got pregnant so fast. The pup had multiple fathers, it made sense. Clara, desperate to conceive quickly, had taken multiple lovers in the pack. Breeding with several at once boosted her chances hugely, but she'd miscalculated. One red wolf's genes dominated, exposing her secret.
Round up everyone in the pack with a red mark on their hand. Now!
Soon 4 werewolf males were dragged in, 3 white wolves and 1 red. When I saw the red wolf's appearance, I couldn't help but gasp.
We plead guilty to every charge. We accept all punishment.
Got anything to say now, Clara?
This is what you promised when you climbed into my bed? To bear my pup?
If you hadn't nagged me every day about wanting a pup right away, would I have resorted to this? If you weren't so worthless in bed, would the pup look like a red wolf?
Besides, the witch said it's yours too. Isn't that enough?
The next world ruler will be a werewolf! You should be thanking me, not blaming me!
Hearing Clara's words, the elf and vampire clan leaders immediately stepped forward from the crowd. The two of them chimed in, rejecting Clara's claims.
We don't recognize this mongrel pup.
The agreement was clear. It has to be the child of a human and each clan's alpha to qualify.
If we let you werewolves pull this shit, the bloodlines get all fucked up. Who knows what freaky monsters you breed next?
This needs approval from the other clans. Elves are out. We absolutely refuse.
The witch nearby quickly stated her position.
We witches stay out of these decisions.
With vampires and elves against it, the werewolves had no shot at the throne. Jax, who had started to waver from Clara's words, exploded in rage again.
Clara! Look what you've done! You've shamed the entire pack!
On the way back after the spectacle, Thorn was sulking. After I pressed him, he finally spilled.
When you saw that red wolf, your eyes lit up. Do you think I'm not hot enough?
Thorn, you're the sexiest to me, especially in bed at night.
Seeing him jealous, I got a naughty idea. A month later, Clara showed up at the vampire clan, covered in bruises, begging for my help. Her eyes were red from crying.
Sister, please help me. Jax has lost it. He says if I don't give him a real pup, he'll torment me every day. I can't take it anymore. If I don't get pregnant soon, I'll die. Do you know any secret ritual to help?
Her words didn't surprise me. In my past life, I was the one suffering it all. Clara's exposed skin was a mess of purple bruises, new welts over old ones, bite marks from Jax's rough handling marring her thighs and breasts, all self-inflicted karma. In my past life, she'd lured me home under the guise of missing me, drugged in my child's moonshine herb tea. While we were helpless, she set the house ablaze, trapping us. As she left, she glared at me viciously, screaming like a madwoman.
Rowena! Your life was meant to be mine! I should have made it with the werewolves! I should have borne the pup!
Now she'd stolen my fate, why regret it? I calmly pulled my hand from her tight grip.
Sister, it's not that I won't help. Human werewolf pregnancies are insanely hard. You wrecked your body with that birth. It'll take at least 3 to 5 years to even try again.
Rowena, you're just refusing to help! You can't stand me winning! Fine, I'll find my own way. You won't beat me to having a pup. I won't lose to you!
She spat the threat and slammed the door as she left. I was speechless. I was telling the truth, human werewolf conception couldn't be forced. In my past life, I used a ritual because I had werewolf blood in me. My mother, young and playful, shifted to human form and wandered into the human world, falling for father at first sight. To stay with him, she fully abandoned her wolf form, becoming human. Her life shortened to just 5 years, and after birthing me, he sealed my wolf nature. In my past life, to give Jax a pup, I forcibly broke the seal, basically slow suicide. It worked for pregnancy, but as my wolf blood drained away, my life ebbed too. This life, I wouldn't be that fool again. Just when I thought I'd never get pregnant this time, something unexpected happened. 2 months later, that night, as Thorn's hand slid over my belly, he froze and asked,
Rowena, how long since your last period?
I thought back. Yeah, about 2 months. But my stomach was just slightly bloated, not pregnancy-like. I figured I'd gain the weight. I was surprised and said,
No way.
Before I could say more, Thorn flipped off the bed, threw on his clothes, and dashed out to find a doctor. In less than half an hour, the doctor was in the room. He checked my body, brows furrowed, shaking his head, then nodding. The room was deathly quiet. Thorn watched me with worry all over his face. Then the doctor stood and congratulated us.
Congrats, Lord Thorn. Madam is 2 months pregnant. Looks like the little one will be born in just a few days.
Once we knew I was pregnant, Thorn followed me around feeding me supplements. He wouldn't let me do a single chore. He even bought 3 moon blossom fruits specially for me to eat. Moon blossom fruits were worth a fortune, the ultimate supplement every pregnant woman dreamed of. In my past life, Jax only gave me half of one during my pregnancy. The vampire clan was supposed to be dirt poor. How could they afford 3 at once?
How did you afford these? Isn't the vampire clan...
Rwanda, who said vampires are poor? Look at our room. From the floors to the vases, everything's pricey.
I'd never looked closely, but now I saw every item screamed luxury.
But everyone says vampires are the lowest clan, cut off from resources?
Vampires keep a low profile. We make money through trade, not corrupt power grabs like others. If you rank by wealth, vampires are second to none. No one dares claim first.
Once I knew vampires had money, I made Thorn take me shopping right away. But halfway there, we ran into Clara, belly out, clinging intimately to Jax's arm as they picked out jewelry. Since Clara got pregnant again, Jax forgave her cheating. They were back to being all lovey-dovey. With Jax watching her like a hawk this time, the pup in her belly could only be his.
Sister, what brings you out shopping?
Clara deliberately rubbed her hands over her belly, like I wouldn't notice she was pregnant again.
Father's birthday feast is soon. Planning to pick a gift for him.
Well, choose carefully. Can't embarrass father with cheap stuff if you're broke.
Clara, shut your mouth. You just sound like a total loser.
Seven days later at the feast, Clara and I sat beside father. Clara's belly was freakishly huge this time.
Rowena, you clearly know how to get pregnant but hid it from me on purpose.
Clara sneered.
But I beat you to it this time. You can't win.
I was about to ask what she meant by beat me, when my stomach cramped hard, labor starting. Thorn noticed immediately. He jumped up, scooped me into his arms, and headed for the door. As people started asking what was wrong, Clara behind us suddenly clutched her belly and yelled in pain. Someone shouted,
Miss Clara is in labor! Get her to the birthing den!
Before I blacked out, I heard the crowd cheering.
This child will lead our clans to greater power!
Then I sank into darkness. In my dream, I saw my child Zeal, playing cheerfully in the room as usual. When he turned and saw me, he spread his arms and ran over to hug me.
Mom, don't you love me anymore?
I held Zeal tightly in my arms.
No, no. Mom loves you forever.
Are you going to leave me, Mom?
I will never leave you.
Then I snapped my eyes open. When I woke up, 3 tiny sleeping babies were in the incubator beside me. Thorn was gently wiping the sweat from my body with a towel. It was a tenderness I had never known in my past life. Not from my father, nor from my husband.
I can't do this anymore! I don't want to bear pups! Just kill me, please! End it! I can't! It hurts too much! I'm going to die!
Miss Clara, hold on! It's almost over. You have to push.
I'm so tired. Just let me sleep.
Our birthing rooms were separated by just a wall. She was still in labor.
Rowena, that was tough on you. Is it too noisy here? Should I take you and the babies home for proper rest?
In my past life after I gave birth, Jax only had eyes for the pup. He ignored my day and night ordeal, shoving the child into my arms right away, forcing me to nurse. Jax didn't care about my body at all. His eyes were only on the pup that could bring him power. But Thorn's focus was all on me from start to finish. He hadn't even asked me to tend to the 3 little ones. He guarded them himself.
It's fine.
This time I felt no birth pains. The 3 tiny babies came out so easily, I just slept through it. I got up and went to the next room, leaving Thorn to watch the children. Clara lay on the bed, crying her heart out. Each time she nearly passed out from pain, the midwife yanked her eyes open.
Clara! Stay awake!
Monster! Miss Clara birthed a monster!
It's his own pup. How can he find it disgusting?
Miss Clara, did you eat anything unusual during pregnancy? This child should have been normal.
I took this. Can you save my child?
This is essence from the Goblin Clan's fertility pods. There's an old remedy. 1 dose daily for 30 days guarantees pregnancy, but it shouldn't cause deformities. Bring the goblin here.
Why isn't my child normal? Why did he turn out like this?
The goblin trembled in fear from the scene.
This is clearly because Miss Clara didn't follow instructions. She must have overdosed on the pods, otherwise it wouldn't happen. Please, you have to believe me.
Didn't you say taking them for 30 days straight would make me pregnant? So if I took them for 60 days, wouldn't I get twins?
Clara's words made everyone in the room understand what happened. If Clara had followed the instructions, she would have had a normal pup. But she got too greedy. This mess turned the pack into a laughingstock again. Rumors spread that Jax was impotent, and his mate cheated not just with others but used that lowly Goblin Clan's fertility pods to get knocked up. Jax was in a foul mood. Clara's days in the pack would only get more miserable. A month later, I was on my way home after buying soft pelts for the babies when I spotted Clara clutching a basket to her chest, sneaking into a dark alley. I'd heard she was driven mad from the torment, stealing other people's pups around the pack. I didn't think much of it. I headed home happily to see my little ones, but my room's door was wide open. The incubator was empty. The 3 tiny babies were gone. In my panic, I remembered the green cloth on Clara's basket. It looked just like the handkerchief I'd left on my desk. I grabbed the silver dagger Thorn gave me for protection and sprinted to the alley where Clara vanished. Deep inside, there was a rundown hut.
Pups, Mommy's here with you. Don't be scared.
Clara, give back my babies.
Every story that we share builds a world so rich and fair. You're the joy that fills my days. In your eyes, the brightest rays. In the moment, big and small.
The babies are dead! My pup and yours died too! Perfect! So perfect!
My eyes burned red. I lunged with the knife to avenge my children.
I see your skies. With each dream I stand so proud. You're my love, I'll
Suddenly, Thorn burst in. From his body, a small vampire flew out, its fangs bared in a bloodthirsty groom, diving straight for Clara's neck. In an instant, Clara spat blood and collapsed, eyes wide in death.
Mommy, I avenged you.
It was Zeal's voice. Zeal had become my child once more. Clara's death didn't cause a ripple. Father had disowned her long ago for shaming the family. Jax was glad she died out there. Thorn and I lived happily together after that. 18 years later, Zeal grew up strong under our love and care. He took control of the entire realm, ruling the clans with wisdom and power.
Dad, you shouldn't keep following Mom all the time.
Don't be jealous, son. Go find your own mate.